welcome to another elating episode of Green Africa. On this episode, we take you into the bustling world of insects. Meet the 25-year-old Ghanaian farmer who is pioneering black soldier fly here in Ghana. I know you're wondering, what is black soldier fly? Well, join me on this ride as we explore what this entails. I am the Nadia Bani. Stay tuned. Oh my god, my boots are so heavy. They're so heavy. But hey, hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, no touching, right?
Right. You can have this for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Samuel Boydu.
Boydu, yes.
Yes. So how would you want me to refer to you?
Oh, Samuel is fine.
Samuel is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm very intrigued, right? And I'm sure our audience are very thrilled as well. We want to know what is black soldier fly. But before then, we want to know how this all started for you. Right. Okay, finally, I've been able to put on my gloves.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Samuel, please take me into your gold mine.
So, well, I have this godfather who is a retired teacher from the UK, who is currently a aquaculture. And then he heard of these animals and he told me he has heard of something called black maggots, and they can help cut down cost of feeding for fishes. He is a fish farmer, so he was really interested in using it to cut down his cost of feeding. So I did the research and came across them, black soldier flies, BSF for short, and I realized the potential they have. Apart from feeding livestock, they can help us get fertilizers. Apart from fertilizers, we can get biodegradable plastics from them. We can even get biodiesel from them. So I looked at it and then I decided this is something I want to do as a business. I realized that the demand here in Ghana is very huge.
Really?
Yes, they don't look like it, but
yes,
the demand,
they don't.
currently we have standing orders of over 500 tons. Yes, a month. That's 500,000 kilos every single month.
Interesting.
Yes. So because of the demand, we decided to welcome partnerships. So we partnered with a farmer. The name of the farm is PY Farms. So we partnered with the farm and we were able to put up this. As I speak, we have other partnerships also going on. Okay. And so we are here in Suboy, and this is where this partnership is.
But I'm very intrigued about you, Samuel. Were you living in Accra at the time?
Yes.
Or you were commuting between Accra and the Eastern region?
No, I was fully in Accra. I was at Spintex around
Spintex boy?
Yes.
Spintex, and now you're farming?
Yes.
Hey, okay. Wow.
Yeah,
that's quite intriguing.
I was already the type that was already fascinated by agric in general and also recycling of waste. So when I heard, aside the fact that it's related to agric, they can also help in recycling organic waste, I jumped into it.
Okay. Did you ever study agriculture in school?
Never.
Tertiary?
Never.
What did you study in tertiary?
Business-related stuff.
Okay. Maybe because of the... No, maybe you're doing this because of the money, right? Or you've always been passionate about agriculture?
Yes, and yes, the money is also there. No entrepreneur will tell you they are not interested in the money. The money is there, but the passion is also there. Because if the passion is not there, looking at flies and deciding to grow flies. When I started, some of my friends were like, Sammy, what's wrong with you? There are other things, other big things we can do. In fact, I had other business ideas too. So some of them were like, why don't you go into some of them are instead of agric, and even if you are doing agric, why flies? But I know what I saw and the potential I saw. And UN has 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and BSF alone cuts across 9 of them. The kind of impact they make is huge. They can actually help us reduce our sanitation problem here in Ghana by about 70%.
How would they be able to reduce our sanitation problems?
Well, our research showed that about 60% of the waste out there here in Ghana is organic. Okay. And BSF feeds on organic waste. The larvae feeds on organic waste. So you don't need to go and buy food for them. What they feed on is organic waste. Though maybe in the course of getting the organic waste, transportation and others, you would surely spend. But it is waste. And they transform that waste into something valuable. So by the end of the cycle, you have the larvae, which gives you protein and calcium for your livestock. You also have biofertilizers, whatever waste they feed on turns into fertilizers.
So you're not just producing this for fishes, but you're also doing this for fertilizer for farmers
Yes.
as well. So you sell fertilizer,
Yes.
organic
so
fertilizer.
both, yes, livestock
You're a
farmers.
rich man.
Amen.
Okay.
So both livestock farmers and crop farmers come to us. The livestock farmers, the fish, not only fish, poultry, pig farmers, they come to us for the larvae to feed their livestock. Then the crop farmers also come to us for the biofertilizers to apply on their crops. And we've done CSIR has done a lot of research that has shown that the biofertilizers from the BSF setup works even better than most of the inorganic fertilizers out there. Yes. And when it comes to the protein aspects too, BSF works better than fish meal, soya bean, and many of the other conventional protein sources which is already being used.
Impressive. Well, now you have this establishment. I know it really never started like this.
Sure.
How much did you start with? Would you be okay to tell us how much you started with?
Well,
so for young people like myself, we can at least start looking at this as an alternative.
Well, it's a good question. I started with zero.
Zero.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah. So
we've had a lot of those zeros. Anyways.
So I started with zero actually. Yes.
Okay.
Zero, as in zero. So in fact, you asked the question tertiary. I've never been to any tertiary institution. I've done short courses though, but full-time tertiary, I've never been to any tertiary institution.
So right after
senior high.
school.
Yes. That was when I met these flies and I decided to take it on.
So you really don't have to go to the tertiary.
No, you don't need
to be successful.
Of course, you don't need to.
You agree with that?
Yes, it's good to go.
Okay.
It helps in so many ways. Even if you put the curricular activities aside, the co-curricular activities, there are certain things you learn in the university. Even lifestyle, there are so many things you learn in the university that will help you. Yes, but it's not a need to become financially successful. So someone said after school you've defeated illiteracy, not poverty. Yeah. So I started with zero. So what I mean by zero is that I didn't have the capital. Even as at that time, if you asked me to bring 500 cedis to start, I won't get it. So yes, I wouldn't have gotten it. So I went after the training, I did some courses online, and I practiced a lot at home too. So I did some small backyard something at Kokrobite. And when I got to a point where I realized that where I've gotten to, I can really do this. I really know my stuff. I partnered with a senior officer at CSIR, and then we started with trainings. So I was helping him with the trainings he was organizing. So the little income that was generated from the trainings, I used that to start my facility. So we usually use gallons as the trays to grow the larvae in. So if the money I have can buy 10 gallons, then I go and buy the gallons and I bring it. If it can buy 5 gallons, I go and come and top up. Gradually, I kept expanding.
Well, I'm happy about what you're doing here, recycling those gallons, because the throwaway culture is becoming something very popular with us. We use and then we just dump without recycling them. Yeah. So I'm really thrilled about this. And you heard him. Sometimes you don't need money, right? Sometimes you need human capital. You can partner with someone who has the resources and do exactly what you want to do. I know at those juncture you're literally asking, what is that? We want to see the black soldier fly. Show it to us. Yes, calm down. We are heading to the insect tree. That's what someone calls it. Yes. So yeah, stay with us.
So this is what we call the insect tree.
Okay.
Or the rearing unit. So this is where we grow the black soldier flies, and when they do what we want them to do here, then we go back to where we came from.
Okay.
So this is an insect tree. This net is called a larve net. We call it a larve net. That is because this is where they meet and lay eggs, and because of the fact that they meet here, we call it a larve net.
So you're making love
yes.
making.
Yes.
So this is where the love making process takes place.
Yes.
You meet your lover,
yes.
your boyfriend, your girlfriend. This is where it happens.
Yes.
Okay, so take us through the entire process of the black soldier fly.
Right. So we have the flies, and the flies mate, and before they mate, they will need sunlight in order to mate. That is why we are using the transparent roofing. Okay. It stimulates the mating. So they mate and lay eggs. They lay eggs into these, we call eggs.
Eggs?
Yes. we have this. We call it the eggs. So they lay the eggs into the crevices, then we harvest the eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have something here we call.
This is made out of wood.
Yeah, just wood.
Okay.
What the carpenters usually call battens, ceiling battens. So we just cut it to the dimension we want. Then we just put thumbtacks, the pins, just to create a space between them. Then they lay the eggs into those spaces. So we have what we call an attractant here. So an attractant is something that has strong smell, the food that has strong smell. That's what attracts the female flies to lay the eggs. Because after they lay the eggs, they die. So they want to be sure there's food here for their offspring. Yes, before they lay the eggs.
They are caring parents.
Very, very caring. So what gives them the assurance that yes, there's food here is the smell. So we use things that have strong smell that attracts them to lay the eggs, and they don't want to lay the eggs directly onto the food source because the heat and moisture in the food can destroy their eggs. So they will lay close to the food source. So that is why we keep this here. Then they lay into this, then we harvest it when we are ready. Then we go and grow them at where we came from. Where we came from, we call the larvarium. That's where the larvae are. But here is for the insects, the flies. So we call here the insectary.
So once they are done with giving birth, they die.
Yes, they die. They are, we call it semi-parity. They focus all their energy on mating and laying eggs. And when they are done, they die.
So they do nothing.
Yeah.
Just give birth and die. Really?
But, after they are dead, the larvae we get from them, the value we get from the larvae is very high. So we don't say they do nothing.
Okay,
they are
so they
contributing
have
a lot to society.
They have
yes,
quite
they
a
don't live
legacy.
long. Yes.
Their children are their legacy.
Their legacy, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And they don't bite, they don't transmit any disease, so you don't need to be scared of them. They don't bite, they don't transmit any disease. And
how sure are we that they don't bite? I mean, looking at them,
you don't have
it gives me, I'm a bit scared because they are flying all over.
Yes.
And when we see humans, when we see stuff like this,
scares
we're
us.
scared.
Yeah. We've done a lot of research on them. CSIR has been doing research over 20 years now, and there's no way they can bite you, and they don't transmit any disease. And actually, they can even, we call it allelopathy. They can neutralize diseases in the food waste. We feed them with waste, organic waste. And if you bring the waste, and let's say, for instance, there's cholera in the waste, by the time the larvae are done feeding on it, they turn it into fertilizers, and by the time they are done, there is no more cholera in it. They're able to neutralize it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I now understand why you said they can actually solve most of our sanitation issues.
Problems, yes.
Good.
Because aside the fact that they are converting the organic waste, which is about 60% of the waste here in Ghana, the exoskeleton of the larvae, the layman will say the skin of the larvae, can be used to produce biodegradable plastics. Plastics that can rot to replace these plastics that are choking our drains and causing floods in Accra.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now let's speak about the children, right?
Right. So
that's the larvae.
Yeah. So
okay, great.
we'll go back to the insectary, the larvarium. Sorry.
Larvarium.
To talk about the larvae.
All right. So we are heading to the larvarium to find out what they use the larvarium for. We've had enough of the larvae makers. They make larvae here. Let's go and find out what happens to the children afterwards.
Right.
I'm using quite basic or generic terms,
Yeah.
so both of us can understand, because we do not understand what this means in the agriculture world. So yes, stay with me.
Right, so this is where we call the larvarium,
Okay.
or the production unit. So this is where a lot of the magic happens. So they lay their eggs, when they are in the larvae net, they lay their eggs in the eggs I mentioned, that wood planks I showed you. Then we harvest the eggs and come and inoculate the eggs here. We actually nest them for the eggs to hatch. And when they hatch, they become larvae. So the larvae are the ones we are going to look at. So we have a lot of them here. All of these have larvae in them, but most of them are very tiny. They are in various stages, but these ones are quite mature, so we can look at them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these are the larvae.
But on the facial level, you actually think there's nothing inside.
Yes, they are nocturnals. They don't like light. That is why in the insectary we have light there. They need the sunlight to mate, but the larvarium, they don't want the light. So that is why this place is a bit darker than there. Here we use the normal roofing sheets, but in the insectary we use the transparent roofing sheets.
Okay.
So
but What's that? Is that food?
Yeah, so this is a mixture of palm rice bran, palm kernel cake, and then mango
Okay.
waste. So we take a lot of waste from Blue Skies and other companies. Yeah, and fruits and vegetable waste as well,
Okay.
and mix it up.
We'll talk about the food later, what you feed them with. But currently,
Okay.
let's focus on the larvae and
Yes,
how
so-
you're able to deal with that.
Yep.
So these is it.
Yeah, these are the larvae.
larvae. Okay. I'm so scared. 'Cause-
Oh, they are completely harmless. They're
okay.
completely harmless.
So I can.
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
They are completely harmless. Don't worry. You have nothing to worry about. Yeah. Yes.
Guys, it feels like I'm literally touching.
Yeah.
I'm touching or holding worms in my hand.
So, looking at how they are wiggling, when they move, they wiggle. So, looking at how they wiggle and the value we get from them, I looked at them and I named my company
I was about asking you the same question.
Wiggling Gold. Yes, because they wiggle and they are as valuable as gold.
Oh,
so
okay.
this is the Wiggling Gold. This whole place is filled with them.
Lovely.
Yes. And each gallon gives us an average of a kilo. Yeah, so
this is what you sell to the
yes.
fish farmers.
To the fish, poultry, pig farmers. But most of them prefer it dried. So we dry it, we harvest it from this.
How are you going to harvest it?
We sieve it, and when the production is very big, we use sieving machines as well. But you can also just do manual sieving. All you need are baskets, just baskets to sieve it. Because the moisture content, we control it in such a way that by the time they are mature, the food is dry, the feed they are in is dry. So you can just sieve with a simple basket.
Do you mix it with water?
Yes.
Because it's a bit moist.
Yes, it depends on the substrate. Sometimes the substrate that comes in is already very moist, so there's no need to mix it with water. In fact, we rather mix it with something powdery to dry it up a bit, to control the moisture content to get what we want. And they are sensitive, both the flies and the larvae, they are sensitive to temperature and humidity. So we check that a lot. So that is why we have this here. Always looking at the temperature and the humidity to see if it's within range. And God has blessed Africa. Most parts of Africa have exactly what the flies need. So they thrive here a lot.
For someone like me, how would I know that this is the amount of feed I need to give to this larvae, this is what I should do and all that? I'm not an expert.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so usually we put 0.3 grams of eggs. We net 0.3 grams of eggs in each gallon. And each gallon, depending on the particle size of the waste, if it has smooth particles, if it has fine particles, 4 kilos to maturity. So 0.3 grams of eggs, you need just 4 kilos to feed on and mature. And if the particles are big, let's say you go and get chunks of oranges, mangoes and others, about 6 kilos. But we do recommend that you grind the waste. Just try and reduce the particles size as much as possible. The smaller the particle size, the better they are able to feed on it.
Okay. How do you measure impact? Have you seen a young Ghanaian, someone you've trained, have you seen them doing the same thing you're doing?
Yes. So we have a lot of who we've trained who are doing the same thing we are doing. In fact, I wanted one of them to be here today to also give his testimony. But because of the distance, he's in the western region. And most of the trainings we do, people come from far for the training. So not all of them are around our catchment area. So that is why we couldn't get some of them to come here. But we have a lot of trainees who are doing very well. We have people who have also completed the university and they are looking for jobs, and through Wiggling Gold, now they've gotten jobs. They are actually working. So you talk to one of them before you leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy at least you were employing people,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of the hike of unemployment in Ghana. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My name is Mary Quayne. When I completed university, I was finding it difficult to land myself a job. I met Wiggling Gold through a friend who introduced me to the production of black soldier fly. At first, when I saw the flies hovering all over, I thought me being a female, I won't be able to enter into such an industry. But then with time, I got used to it. I underwent the training session, and now I am encouraging more young people, especially women, to venture into such industry. It is very lucrative, it is impactful, and it's something that everybody, especially women, can do.
Yes.
So what exactly is happening here?
Yeah,
I see fermented mangoes.
Yes.
Yes. What's happening?
Yeah, so that's part of our pre-processing unit where we bring in the waste and we process it. So what we have here mostly is mango. We have other types of waste we mix with it too, but this one in particular is mango from food processing factory. And we bring it here, we take out the seed to make it easier for us to grind it into paste. When it's in the paste form, they're able to feed on it better and grow faster. So that is what we do here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this deliberate? There are a lot of women on the farm. I've seen quite a number. Is this very intentional?
Yes, it's very intentional. UN and many other institutions, we are promoting the agenda of empowering women. So, and when it comes to rural areas like this, there are so many jobs here, and they will say, oh, we can employ women here, we can employ women there. So we try as much as possible to create spaces for women, create jobs that women can do so that we can have more women around. This is a grinder. So the waste they were sorting out there will come here, we pour it here and we grind it into paste. And after grinding, we store some here. The ones we are going to use, immediately we use it. Then we mix it with other things. So we have a mixer here.
What do you mix it with?
So sometimes rice bran, wheat bran, palm kernel cake, and many other things. So we do the mixing here and feed it to the larvae.
How many bags of fertilizer are you able to make in a month?
Well, it depends on the packaging though. But if I should talk about it in terms of tons, we make about 9 to 10 tons of biofertilizers a month.
From the recycled gallons we saw
Yes, yes. Because each of the gallons contains about 4 kilos.
there. So what is your ideal advice to young people out there?
Well,
Especially the graduates who say, white collar job is the way to go.
Well, if you get a white collar job, it's good. You can do it, but don't wait for that. Or whilst you're waiting, get something to do. Yes, and don't always don't say I'm looking for a huge capital to start something. No, whatever small amount you have, start with it, and gradually you'll be able to expand.
Well, this goes to cement the fact that Africa is indeed the gold mine of the world. There is money in every little thing we see around us. And individuals like Samuel are actually proven that indeed there is money to make in Ghana, there is money to make in Africa. You don't need to travel out of the country to make a living. Everything around you is money. Unfortunately, this is how we wrap up Green Africa. See you in our upcoming episodes. I am Danaja Wani.